Hi, friends. How are you today? I'm Keisha, and I am with Let's Go Outdoors. And some of you may have seen me already yesterday when I was doing a presentation with a model talking about watersheds and rain and our natural water cycle. Well, today we are shifting gears a little bit, and I am going to be doing a story reading with you. Okay? And you're going to have to do a little bit of work and a little bit of interacting with me so that I know that you're paying attention. Okay? So, again, my name is Keisha Scovins, and I am with Let's Go Outdoors. And what Let's Go Outdoors does is we do outdoor recreation and nature awareness, environmental education activities throughout the city of Philadelphia. So there's wonderful programs that we do that get you outdoors, thinking about things differently, and just kind of engaging in nature and learning about stuff. Today I'm here on behalf of the Philadelphia Water Department, and I am going to, again, read you a couple of stories that have to do with water. But before we do that, I am going to give you a moment because I want you to think about a couple of things that you have done with water. Okay, so we can all think about all the things we've done with water. It could be today, yesterday, it could have been during the summer. So I am going to see if you can let me know through typing in the chat, if you can, a couple of things that you've done with water. So let's see, I'm going to count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now I'm going to give some ideas for what we've done with water. So today, for me, I actually used water when I took a shower this morning. So that's one thing that I did with water. Another thing that some people have done with water today is they have brushed their teeth, including me. I brushed my teeth with water today. I'm going to go through a few more things. So now something else that we do with water, I'm going to act it out, see if you know what it is. Swimming, you are so right. We can go swimming in water. So some people may have done that this past summer, or some people might be going to places where they can do that indoors right now. So, two more things. Something else that people do with water. So, another thing we do with water is, I think somebody out there might have said it, wash dishes. So, water is used to wash dishes and wash something else. What's that? Our clothes. And also, what else? Our bodies, you're right. So, that is something else that we do with water. So, now, before I read our first book, I want us to sing a little song and act out a little bit what we do with water that I've said. So now the song that I am singing, it's called This Is the Way. So now we can think about this is the way. So here's the song. I'll sing the rhythm. You might know it and you might say, oh my gosh, I know that song. So here it is. This is the way what do we say? I took a shower this morning, right? Take a shower, take a shower, take a shower. This is the way we take a shower. We could say every day. Good job. So what's something else we said that we do with water? Brush our teeth. That's right. So let's do that one. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth every day. All right, let's see. We got two more. And remember, if you come up with something new and want to type it in the chat, go ahead. So here's another one. We talked about washing dishes, but what if we wash our hands? We've been doing a lot of that because we want to stay as safe as we can. So here we go. We got our water in our hands. This is the way we wash our hands, wash our hands, wash our hands. This is the way we wash our hands every day. Good job. Let's do one more. So let's see. We talked about washing like clothes or drinking water. We could say that too, right? So we could do this is how we drink water. Ready? Let's do it. This is the way we drink water, drink water, drink water. This is the way we drink water every day. Nice job, everybody. So now we are going to get started with our first book that we are going to read together. Now, I wanted us to think about water because our first book is going to be about water. Now, it's going to be about some of those things we talked about already. So it's going to be, how does my home work? Water. Okay, so that's the book. Now I'm going to read the page and then I'll show you the picture. So then you see the whole thing. And you see there, the person right there on the front is washing their hands just like we just acted out. So here we go. I'm going to read and then I'll show you the picture. Here we go. How does my home work? Water. And this book is by Chris Oxlade. Now on this page, there is a table of contents. I'll show it to you briefly, but it's not a page that we usually are generally going to read. Okay? Here is that table of contents if you are just curious about it. Looks just like that. And those are the spots that we are reading. So now I've got some prompts here too that we can use as we go along. So the first part is, why do we need water? At home, we need water for drinking and for cooking. Like we just said, we can drink water. And then this is talking about cooking. You have to drink water every day to stay healthy, right? In the garden, we give water to plants to help them grow. We also need water for washing ourselves and our clothes. So I've got my little prop here. I've got a plant that I have here. It's got a little label on it. But yep, it's got a label, and that's a plant. That plant has to be watered. And so I'm going to show you the picture here about why we need water. So here it goes. So make sure, see that person watering those plants? Great. You might have some plants at home that you water also. See the girl washing her hands? Like I said, we've been doing a lot of hand washing, and we're making sure that we stay safe also by washing our hands a lot. The next part is about, where do we get water? So now we get most of our water from rain. When rain falls, some of the rain flows into streams and rivers. We store water from rivers and lakes called reservoirs. A dam stops the water from flowing away. Now, any of you who might have been on yesterday and heard me talk about our watershed may have thought about, wow, some of that does have to do with what we were talking about as far as our watershed. See that dam in the picture there? Stopping that water from the reservoir? See the picture there? Talking about where we get our water from? Pretty neat, right? Okay, how does water get to my home? So let's think about that. How do you get water at your house? Again, you can always type in the chat if you come up with an answer you want to share. Water gets to your house? How? Ooh, some people think that water gets to their house because they have pipes. And you are exactly right. There are pipes that bring water to our homes. Some pipes that are under the ground that carry water are huge, bigger than me. Okay. And then there's some pipes that are small, like the ones that you see coming in through your house that's in your faucet when you turn it on. Those pipes are smaller pipes. So water travels to your home along pipes. Giant pipes carry the water from the reservoirs to towns and cities. The giant pipes carry water under the ground along the streets. Narrow pipes take the water from the giant pipes into our homes. So take a look. That's how this happens. Oops, let me go this way. See those pipes? See the house there? The giant pipes come under the house, and then they move into the smaller pipes that then help you get water from your faucets, from your shower. Yeah. And that's the big pipe there they were using underground. Now we got to think about those faucets that you have in your house. When you turn on that faucet, so some of us have the faucets where you lift up and it turns on, and then some of us have faucets where you have to turn the knob. So it just depends. Sometimes in some places, some schools and stuff, you have a knob where you have to like just push the button and it comes on automatically. Or there's like a sensor when you put your hand in front of it, the water will come on. So there's all those different ways that the water will come out of the pipes or out of the faucet. So these powerful pumps push the water along the pipes to your home. When you open a faucet, this push makes water flow out of the faucet. Sometimes a water pipe gets a leak. This can happen if water in the pipe freezes into ice and splits the pipe. That's not good when that happens. But we have a wonderful water department and people that are able to come out and fix those things. So you see that faucet there? See what kind it is? It's the kind that lifts up and down. That's what's pumping that water out. And then you see one of those pipes that comes into the house or goes through the walls, and it has a leak. You see that leak coming out where that arrow's pointing? That's no fun, but it happens and it would have to be fixed. And again, sometimes it's freezing or ice that splits that. Okay, the next part is where does water, dirty water go, right? So let me tell you where dirty water goes. Dirty water from your home goes down special pipes called drains. So the dirty water, right? Once you take your shower, you go to the bathroom, everything gets flushed or goes down the drain, right? The drains from each home join big underground pipes called sewers. Okay, so again, that word is sewers. Sewers carry the dirty water to a water treatment plant to clean it. And in Philadelphia, there are several water treatment plants. They're the ones that clean the dirty water, and then there are the ones that clean the water so it's safe for us to drink. And it comes from those two rivers that I talked about yesterday also. But the two rivers in Philadelphia where we get our drinking water are the Delaware and the Schuylkill rivers. So the cleaned water then goes into a river or to the sea. So remember, that's the dirty water. It gets cleaned and it goes back out to the river, not back to our homes to drink. Here are the pictures for this one. Those are pictures of that treatment plant. Here's the next one. Why does dirty water need to be cleaned? Okay, dirty water is dangerous to drink or to swim in, right? We can't do that. Sometimes it's really dirty. If a person drinks or swallows dirty water, he or she can become very ill. And we don't want anybody getting sick from dirty water. Dirty water often has harmful chemicals in it. The chemicals can harm the animals and plants that live in rivers and oceans. Yep, and sometimes, even though water looks really clean and it's really clear, it doesn't mean that it's safe to drink. It might mean that it's safe for our fish and our animals to live in because they are okay, but it doesn't mean it's safe for us to drink. So the Philadelphia Water Department, it's part of their job to make sure that our water, our drinking water, is as clean as possible for us to drink, and it makes sure that it's treated so that it's safe and so nobody is going to get sick. Here are the pictures here. Now that's really dirty water there that they're showing. So that's water that we definitely are not going to swim in or drink. And then on the other page, even though the water is clear there, you see there are dead fish in there. So sometimes there's chemicals or something in there that makes it hard for animals to live. Okay, now we're changing up a little bit. Now we're going to think about water that we use. Okay, so now I have a little bit of a trivia question for you. I want to know if you have a washing machine at home, how many gallons of water do you think that your washing machine uses when you have one load of wash? Or if you have to go to the laundromat at the laundromat, one load in the washing machine, how many gallons of water do you think it takes? Remember, a gallon is a big jug. Sometimes you see like how milk is sold in the clear plastic jugs that are pretty big. That's a gallon. How many of those do you think it takes to wash one load of laundry? Okay. And the other one I want you to think about is how many gallons of water do you think is used when somebody takes a shower? We're not saying a super long shower, no, a regular shower that just takes about a few minutes. Okay, so you get in, rinse, get out. I mean, get in, rinse, wash, and then get out. Don't want anybody forgetting to do the washing part with this soap. All right, so those were the two questions. So now, question number one was how much water do you think a washing machine uses for each load? A washing machine uses about 25 gallons. I know, right? A lot of water for each load of washing. That is enough to fill up your bathtub. Super duper lots of water that's being used there. So now my other question was how many gallons of water do you think it takes when you take an average shower? That's actually 8 gallons. So take a look. Here's a picture, and then there's a little chart on the side that tells you different sizes, different amounts of water that are used when you do loads of laundry and when you do other things. I'm going to show that page just for a moment so people can take a look at how much water is used for some of those things, like taking a bath, flushing the toilet, and running the faucet. Okay, that's when people might run the faucet when they are doing their brushing their teeth or doing something like that. Ooh, Ruby wasn't so far off. She said 4 gallons. No, it would be great, Ruby, if it was 4 gallons, but it's actually that 25 gallons, so much more. Great to have you back, Ruby. Here's the next one. Can we use as much water as we want? That's a good question, right? Can we use as much water as we want? There's plenty of water all over the place, right? Should we be able to use as much as we want? I'm going to tell you. When the weather is very dry, the amount of water in reservoirs goes down. Then we need to be even more careful not to use more water than we need. Sometimes an underground pipe bursts and no water comes out of your faucets. Then water has to be brought to your street and water trucks. Well, I hope this doesn't happen. It hasn't happened to me before, but I know that it happens in some places where water runs out because of the reservoirs not having enough water in them, or there's a problem with one of the big pipes underground. So those are things that are very difficult for us when they happen because then water does have to be brought in. All right, so the next page, this is going to be our last page. It's going to be how can we use less water? So here we go. If you have ideas, go ahead and type them in the chat. But you can use less water in many ways. One way to save water is to turn the faucet off while you brush your teeth. Remember, that chart showed that if you leave the water running, you could use almost 2.5 gallons of water just letting it run while you're brushing your teeth. Don't do that. That's one easy way to save water. A rain barrel collects rainwater that flows off your home's roof. And those are some of the things that you can do around your house. If you're interested, you can get a rain barrel. And the Philadelphia Water Department has rain barrel programs. So make sure if you're interested in doing something like that, you get in touch with the water department. You can use that water so that you might collect in a rain barrel to water plants or clean your car instead of tap water. So that's what they're saying that you can do. The rain barrels that are in Philadelphia and around the world, those barrels, again, you can save that water that comes down in rainstorms. Like yesterday, there was lots of rain. People who have rain barrels are probably really happy because now they have lots of water that they can use to water plants or their lawns. So it's, again, another way of conserving and using less water. And then using the water that we get to do things with around our homes. Now, we can't drink it again, but it is something that you can use to water plants, to wash your car, so things like that. All right, so now there's a page here where you can keep a water diary. Now, I'm just going to show you what the water diary on this page looks like. Let me put that over there. That's just someone making sure that they're kind of thinking about how much water am I using and if I saved any. So that's something if you would like to do, you could do that at home. And that's the end of our first story. So now that was what we call a nonfiction story. So that's a true story that we read. So again, how does my homework water? So now you know how that is. We are going to get ready for our next book, but now I want to see if any of you have heard of this title. This one is called The Little Raindrop. You know, I've got a price tag right on there. I didn't even think about that, but there it is. The Little Raindrop. How fun, because yesterday it was raining. We can think about all the different raindrops that were falling from the sky, right? And if you were on yesterday, you know that the sign for rain is just like that, rain coming down from the sky. So we are going to think about the little raindrop, okay? And what happens to a raindrop? Where does it go? How far does it travel? Like what happens to a raindrop? So here we go again. The Little Raindrop. And this title is written by Joanna Gray and it has some wonderful pictures illustrated by Dubravka Kalanovic. Okay, so again, The Little Raindrop. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we got to make sure we get our imaginations in because we're going to think about what happens with the raindrop. So it was one dark and stormy day. A little raindrop, right up here, right? This little raindrop, right? Fell out of a cloud and flew faster and faster and faster through the sky, right? So you try that. So now there's a little raindrop up in the sky, right? Here it goes. And then it moves faster. Move your hand faster, 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 faster through the sky. You got it. Good job. Here's that raindrop. Let me show you the picture. Like I said, there's a beautiful illustration in this book. You see the raindrop yet? That raindrop is falling fast. Let's see what happens to that raindrop now. A gust of wind. So now we've got our wind. So we got our raindrop, we got our wind. The raindrop is moving sideways in a dazzling flash, right? Of red, right behind me, orange, and yellow. He found himself inside a beautiful rainbow. Right? That's a sign for rainbow. Rainbow. So now let me show you that raindrop caught in that red, yellow, and orange rainbow. Look at him. He's in all of that beautiful color. But he might feel a little bit confused, like what just happened? I fell out of the sky and I'm moving all around really, really fast. So now let's see, what do you think's going to happen next? So now that little raindrop, no, he's not confused. He's not scared. He's enjoying the beautiful colors. Little raindrop fell through green and blue and indigo and violet before another gust of wind. Here's our sign for wind. Wind blew him out of the rainbow. So now we see this raindrop. He's coming out of the rainbow. So there he is. Now he dropped from the sky, down into the rainbow. Now the wind came and blew him out of the rainbow. And now let's see what's happening now. Who knew? Splash! Little raindrop landed in a shallow puddle on top of a large rock. So now I'm not sure he's feeling so happy now. He splashed into the rock. There he is. Splash! He hit the rock. And then he's in a puddle. So sometimes puddles outside splash around in them. Sometimes. So now we got the raindrop. Here's our little raindrop, right? Ploop. right into the rainbow. Then the wind comes, and now he's splashed. Now, splish, splash, splosh. Lots of other raindrops boop, 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 fall all around him until the puddle was overflowing. Little raindrop ran down the side of the rock and joined the stream. Right? So he's got all the other raindrops. He decided to join them. Here's the picture. Look at that. See the little raindrop right there? He's going to go join the stream. All those other little raindrops that are in that funnel. Splish, splash, splashing around. There he is. So here's the next part. In the stream, little raindrop drifted through the woods and bounced over pebbles. He played with small, shimmering fish. Ooh, I've got some fish here. So we can pretend our little raindrop is playing with these fish and they're just going, So yes, we have our little raindrop going splish, splash, splash. Now he's with all the other little raindrops. And now he's playing with all of the fish. And he watched them dart around as deer and rabbits came to drink at the water's edge. Here he is, playing, splashing, enjoying everything. The little raindrop is just having a blast, right? Animals, everyone's with him. That is fantastic. He's having such a good time. All right, let's see. Sometimes laughing children would race sticks in the water and little raindrop would chase them under bridges, dodging the swirling grass and fluttering leaves. So he's just having a ball, right? Just like me and my friends do sometimes. We'll hang out, we'll play. I'm sure some of you play with your friends. Maybe some of you splash around in water with your friends. Could be a swimming pool, might be out in puddles. Who knows? You might even play in the rain sometimes. But little raindrop is just having a great time, sticks around. You can kind of just play. So let's see what happens next. So now that little raindrop is falling from the sky, the wind, the rainbow, he's in the puddle, he's riding around, he's just doing amazing stuff. After a while, the stream joined a river and little raindrop floated along in the strong current. So no longer is it like a little nice flow. It's like, he's like in there. Let's see now. At times, the river was calm and peaceful, and little raindrop watched diving kingfishers and larger fish as they swam slowly by. So now this is kind of like the calm river. Not too much going on, just kind of seeing how things are, enjoying just watching and floating along, seeing the animals. So now that river, thinking about our river, there's raindrops in there. And so now the two rivers that we have in our area are the Delaware and the Schuylkill River. So now at other times, the little raindrop was in the river and it was noisy and it was rough. He's like, ooh, he's holding on, right? So little raindrop raced along the rapids and dived down waterfalls, carefully avoiding the jagged rocks at the bottom of the falls. The little raindrop is still having a good time. It's just that river is going really fast and he's just kind of moving along. So here he is moving along in the river. You see the little raindrop there. He's moving along that current, the stronger current. But yep, he's there. Here is the next page. I am going to read to you. Eventually, the river reached the sea, and little raindrop was pulled far away from the shore. He met friendly dolphins who played and danced in the sunlight and listened as they whistled and clicked their greetings to each other. Did you know that dolphins click? They sure do. So now, this is him. He reached the sea. Another word for the sea is the ocean. So the little raindrop has traveled pretty far, right? Come a long way. So now he started where? Let's review our signs. He started where? In the clouds. Then he came down from the clouds, and then he was in a rainbow. You got it. And then after the rainbow, what came? The wind, and blew that little raindrop all the way around, and then he dropped splash near a puddle. He was on a rock and then the puddle. Then he joined all the other little raindrops that had dripped around. And then he said, oh, we got to a stream. And then the stream led to a river. The river led to the big wide sea, or the ocean. Now he's with his dolphin friends. So now here we go. One day the tide pulled little raindrop back to the beach. When we think about the tide, that's that water going up and then coming back down. So it gets a little bit closer to the shore, and then it gets further away from the shore. He surfed the waves and he crashed onto the shore until finally he came to rest on the soft sand. Ooh, so little raindrop, now he's at the beach, right? So now he's on the sand. There's those waves. And he was surfing and riding. So there he goes. He's at the beach now. You ever go to the beach? See, now you can think about where some of the water in that ocean came from. Little raindrops from the sky that blow around and down, and then they wind up there. So now we're going to be at the end of what happens to the little raindrop. So now here he is. The sun shone down on the sand, and little raindrop got hotter and hotter until the warmth of the sun drew him up into the air. So now, yesterday we learned that word. What's happening? Oh no, little raindrop is evaporating, right? It was cooler in the sky, and little raindrop joined a cloud, right? Those clouds that was already full of raindrops. Little raindrop was ready to fall to the earth and begin his journey once more. So little raindrop made it through all of the parts of the water cycle, right? That we talked about, the natural water cycle. So here it is. Whoops, got that page. So there's little raindrop. The sun came out and dried him up, went up into the clouds with other raindrops, and then he was ready to start his journey again. So again, that's the little raindrop. So to review his life, right? His cycle, the natural water cycle, really, he was a raindrop up in the clouds. He fell down and then made it into a rainbow, right? Ooh, yep, a rainbow. And then the wind blew him out. And then he made his way to a puddle. And then all the water flowed downhill. And then he made it to a stream. And then the stream led to a bigger waterway, which is a river. And then the river led to the ocean. And then the ocean led him to the beach. And then the sun came out and dried him up. And then he was in the clouds again. So yes, so through the little raindrop, we understand and we learn a little bit more about our natural water cycle. So I'm so glad that you joined me for a reading of How Does My Home Work? So we read this one, okay, water, and we're thinking about ways that we can save water or conserve water and how that water gets into our homes through those pipes. And we thought about our natural water cycle through the little raindrop and how our water comes from the sky and it moves through different parts of our world and how it moves through our water systems, and then it gets back into the sky. So again, those are things that we think about in our day-to-day lives. So if nobody had any questions they want to type in the chat, I'm so glad that you joined me on behalf of the Philadelphia Water Department to think about water in our homes and water in our world. Again, my name is Keisha, and I'm with Let's Go Outdoors. So hopefully everybody's going to have a wonderful rest of their day. Ruby, it's so good to have you again. And for everybody else out there, enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.